All right, here we are, ready to go. Now let's see. This is first one, so I'm trying to figure out how well you can see and all that sort of stuff. So let's see. Here's some notes. Here's my master plan. I've created or decided on a project for us to do. I don't really know exactly where it's going to go, but I want to create ultimately a web app where I can post things, whether it's articles, whatever. It's a very generic sort of idea. Post some sort of text content, it saves it, and then we can retrieve it. So very CRUD-like. CRUD. Create, read, update, delete. So shouldn't be too amazing. Honestly, I'm starting very small because I want to work out any issues here with the recording process and see how all that's going to work. For example, I don't know how loud this is, but anyway. Also, I've got a deployment in 50 minutes, so got to make it quick. So let me go ahead and hide this so I don't just keep looking at myself. So I've got this Tygo here just to help go through the motions. I'm not going to probably go into agile and all that sort of stuff very much. This is more about development. There's plenty to learn with all that stuff, and in my experience with all of the development process stuff, each shop kind of says they do one thing, but they do their own variation of it. So I'm not an expert. We're not going to get into that. So anyway, what I want to do tonight is I showed you this cool diagram. We're going to make a server where we can post something to it, and we can get the data. And that's it. We're going to start real basic here with this one. Let's see. Let's just say I haven't really figured out the whole process here, but what the hell. I guess the other ones are ready as well. That one's ready. That one's ready once we figure out the specifics, but let's check it out. In progress. I think we got a Kanban board here. So we're going to create a basic server. And what does that mean? Create a server that can save posted data and show it. Forget, I'm being intentionally vague here. I don't want to handcuff us to specific technologies even. But for expediency, let's just satisfy this and then we can change it later. Who knows, maybe we'll change to Go or something down the line. I'm not even talking about the client at this point. Like this is basically a web service. It's just an API, and our client might, it might be the browser or curl or something like that. Nothing crazy. So I always aim low with the functionality and then try and iterate from there, because if you go too big, it blows up really fast, and generally there's more to the small stuff than you probably realize most of the time. So let's get started. I'm going to go over, use iTerm. Let's go in and we're going to go to code, and we're going to make, actually here, let me go over to my new GitHub repo, and we're going to create a new repository, and this is going to be called the-stoic-dev. That's what I'm calling it. Going to make it public. Create. Copy this URL here. Oh goodness, I don't even have SSH set up. I always forget how to do this because I do it like once. But let's copy it. It's not going to work. We're going to do git clone the URL. Oh, it did work. How did that work? Oh, it's because it's public. Okay, once we go into where we're going to actually commit to it, things will be a little bit different. Before we get started, let's go ahead and cd into the the-stoic-dev and look at the git config user email. Hey, look, that's my personal email. That's not what we're using here. I'm pretending that I'm the the-stoic-dev at this point. So let's go ahead and change that. We're going to do git config user email is the-stoic-dev@gmail.com. And just for fun, hey, there it is. Git config user name. I guess I'm using my regular name. Anyway, so this is setting this at a local level. So I can use Vim to come in and look at all the Git stuff. And you can see, where is it? There it is. There's the email I set. So my global Git config has my name and my email. But this is different in this case. So when I set it here, it's setting it in the local .git repository, or the .git directory, and you can see it right here. So there it is. Now, we want to keep this very basic, right? So we want to be able to post data, and the server receives it and saves it, and we're just going to save it in memory right now. And then the opposite, when we do a GET request, we can see all of the posted data. So, you know, what server do we use? It's too easy to just start with Node server and Express, and that kind of gets us going. So, Node Express. Let's see here. This is Express. I've already got it installed, so you can see which Express. It's like, hey, you got that one. So what I could do, I think I can just back up here and Express the the-stoic-dev. Yeah, there we go. So this is it's going to build out the scaffolding to give you a very basic Express server. We're not going to use templates and all that, so we'll just basically default through all this. So destination is not empty. Are you sure? I sure am. So it created all this crap, and then it shows us how to run it. So let's check it out. It actually tells you very easy stuff. So cd the-stoic-dev. I'm going to use yarn instead of npm. It's fashionable. It is faster. It's kind of nice. So there we are. Hey, also, while I'm here, I try not to get too sidetracked, but if it makes it really easy to do, let's take care of it. So your current version of yarn is out of date. You want to upgrade? Do this. All right. Doesn't get much easier than that. So let that run through. Ta-da. Now it says open another terminal. Yeah, it's not here, so it doesn't really matter, but just to see that it's there. So cd code the-stoic-dev. What's our yarn version? 1.3. Hey, wait. I don't think that actually worked, but whatever. Anyway, so now we've installed all the dependencies. We can see here all these node modules and everything. If we do -a, we can see even the hidden stuff. Now, right off the bat, this didn't give us a git ignore, which we definitely need. When we commit all this stuff, we don't want to commit the node modules. You just want to commit the source, right? This is the instructions. And when somebody else pulls this down from GitHub and they build it, or they install it and they build it, they just need the instructions. They don't need the compiled, the finished product, right? And all the dependencies and all that. So node modules is something that is huge and we don't want to include. So let's go ahead and open this up. I use NeoVim. here. This over here, you can see Git is the hidden folder. The .git file is not here, so let's add it. .git ignore rather, and we always want to ignore node modules. And now if I Control Z out of here, it shows that, hey, I stopped this process. And I can see like, hey, that's still sitting there. I can get back to that process by FG, which is pretty cool. So this is a quick way to jump in and out in the same terminal. Anyway, so let's do git status to see where we are. If I add the git ignore and then do git status, oh, actually, it was already taken care of. Anyway, you see that that huge node modules, that's gone now. It's like, yeah, we don't need that. So that's pretty cool. And it's good form to also start with a README. So let's add our README. README, Markdown. This is Markdown. We'll see Markdown. It's pretty straightforward. The the-stoic-dev. We're just going to say this is a pet project for whatever my new YouTube thing is. I don't remember. What is my the-stoic-dev? All right, gotta do some shameless plug-in here. So there we go. Anyway, so now that we're here, git status, add all this stuff. We haven't even made sure this runs yet, so let's go ahead and give that a shot. If I do a Command D, I can split here. So I can do yarn start. That'll start this guy up. Doesn't give you a lot of info, I guess. There's a debug. Oh, what is the debug? I don't remember. It said at the when we installed it, but I don't remember what it is. That's right. We know it works though. Let's go check it out. It should be localhost. Is it 3000? There it is. And so as we come in here, we can see, hey, it's Express. Great. Let's at least quote unquote brand it a little bit. So let's see. Let's go in here. Honestly, I don't remember most of this stuff. It does all this crap with like these Jade files. That's not what we want. Let's go in here to the index, change the title, the-stoic-dev. Now, you notice how this isn't automatically updating. If we refresh, oh crap. Okay, no, this is not going to work. So this is not going to automatically update. We have to turn off the server, start it back up, then it reads in all of its source, and now it's working, obviously. This is a hot reload is what that's called, where you make changes and it automatically shows up. We can do that. We'll get to that once we get a little busier. I just wanted to make this something. We could do, what is this? E? There we go. Let's clean this up a little bit. We don't need, well, here, let's keep it simple. Okay, I'm bouncing around. Now we have something. It's total crap. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's something, right? So we'll do our git status. We add that, look at git status, it's all here. So now we have a server that we can start and we'll serve something. It's the worst thing ever, but it's something. So let's go ahead and save. This is a good place. So do our commit, and we will say, as is tradition, the initial commit. Now here, I'm going to try and push this to GitHub. It's going to get pissed off at me. I'm going to say -u. That means, hey, set the upstream to the origin. I want to push this master. It says permission denied. It's because I have not set up the SSH part. I always forget this. Like I said, I do it once and then I forget. So let's see. I can read. I already have one set up. I'm not gonna. Let's see. Cat. Let's look. Man cat. So that's the manual page for cat. Concatenate and print files. This is a fast way cat to read stuff. I feel like in my home directory .ssh /id rsa.pub. Make sure it's pub. That's my public key. That is my public key. So I've already got one. I won't go into detail right now. I'm not going to go through the process of creating a new one and juggling multiples and all that stuff right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to my profile. It's not profile. Where is it? Settings. I need to basically tie this up and say, let's see, this is my personal Mac. Wait, this is not what I'm sorry, I'm not even the right thing. I need to go to SSH keys. I need to add a new SSH key. Boom, throw it in there. And this is my personal Mac. Add. Key is already in use. Damn it. Alright, well, check it out. They have lots of really cool features here, like how to create a new SSH key. Ay, ay, ay.